Another tough day at work today. Steve and Kirk think I suck. Throw back a few wobbly pops, feeling down on my luck. And the interns ruin every show. But it's still where we want to go. It's Mike and the Minifans. 'Cause nobody had any better plans. You want to be with DC and RA Minihane. The host can't see, it's Mike and the Minifans.
All right, we are back. Mike and the Minifans, another Friday, 8 p.m., here to stay. A little bit of a tough week last week, I cannot lie. I apologize again to the people, but we are back here with Mama K and Montante. Folks, how are we, Montante? Let's start with you. You missed Friday's show. What's going on?
Nothing crazy. So Mama K actually was almost the inspiration to get me to go in there because we spoke previously, but I was a little on edge come Tuesday when I saw the potential snow.
Mm-hmm.
So I was probably 70-30 going in, but then I felt like I got a little nudge from God to say, hey, go next week. When my vet appointment canceled from Wednesday and rescheduled for Friday, I was like, all right, that's a deciding factor. I'll see you guys next week, which apparently now they're going to get fucking like 3 feet. So who the fuck knows how that's going to pay off, but that's what happened.
Was this the
Putting you
same?
with who?
Huh?
Was that
Oh, sorry. What did you say you're going in next week with who?
I might be going in next week, but I got to go next week for work, but now you guys get like 10 feet of snow, so it might have backfired.
Not good. We'll pray that you get in there. Mama K, how are you?
Thank you.
I'm well. Thanks, Mick. I'm good.
Let's start with what's going on right now. Usually we'll recap the week. Obviously, we'll get into Kane getting everybody sick. I know we missed a show because of him. A lot to get to here. What do we think of the Yukon 4? Let me just start with this. What do we think of date night here at Yukon? Montante, thoughts on this? Did you ever see this happening? The D-Lows, Mutnansky, and Kirk hitting the town.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Kirk's full of shit when he's like, oh, I don't like fun, this, that, the other. He had an extra glow to him today. He's looking forward to this. Yep. This is a fun event. It's not against the law to have fucking fun. All right, enjoy it. Yeah, those guys are going to have a fucking blast.
Yeah, I agree. I would never see. It's not that, like Jeff D. Lowe, they're all buddies. It's Mutt being there is, to me, laugh out loud funny. Just the image of those four kind of like, yeah, you getting a table for four here? And it's that hodgepodge walking in. Like, to me, it's hysterical.
D-Lo's wife makes it weird. It would be a normal trio.
That's what I mean. Like, it's just a ridiculous crew when all things considered.
I think D-Lo's fiance, not wife yet.
Soon to be, right?
Is the wild card there. I think that makes immediately some things a little more awkward and uncomfortable. And I don't know her. She could be totally cool and personable and help break ice and stuff. But the car ride, I wish, how Justin and Mike and you had the video on. I would have paid $1,000 to have a live stream of that car ride. I know it would never happen. I realize that, which is why I can say I'd pay $1,000, but I probably would do that just so I could see that.
Like, I have no problem hanging out with my friend and their girlfriend and their significant other, however it happens, going out to a bar. Absolutely. Driving like 4 hours to a basketball game. Yeah. Like that's like Montante, like crazy. I consider you a friend at this point. We've known each other for a long time. If the Celtics and the Knicks were playing, me, you and Alex had to travel 5 hours together. I don't think I'm going.
I'll meet you there with me and Alex take the train up together separate. Actually traveling together is fucking so crazy. Yeah.
Well, listen,
hey,
I don't mind. I
Yeah.
traveled with Kevin from Bristol, like 15 hours in a car to Delaware.
That's different.
No, it's worse.
True.
Love you, Kev. But I wouldn't have a problem with it, but I just feel like the dynamic of those three, I mean, obviously, Jeff D. Lowe and his fiance are fine together, but just that whole dynamic, right. I don't know how that would go down, but I would have paid to see that. Yeah, for sure.
What do we make of Kirk Minihane being the officiator? Is that how you say it? Officiator? to
that was Mick, as a guy who breaks news, right? Mama K, you're someone who sees the future. Yeah. We all knew that was going to be the news, right?
Yes. Honestly, I had no idea.
Thank you, Mama K. Thank you, Mama K.
I thought maybe you give like a speech or something.
No,
being the main guy, I mean, that's a big role.
The way it was set up, I knew he was going to be officiating the wedding the entire time. Because I think if you listen to the show, shout out Tim from Canton, who sometimes listens apparently after his big omission this week. He mentioned that he's officiated weddings in the past. Yeah. So when he was setting that up, I was like, oh, he's just going to officiate this one.
I knew that too. I mean, it was obvious.
Of course, well, you did. But.
Well, yeah, that's right. You knew about 9/11. Of course you knew. But the one thing that I was surprised is like Kirk's not a wedding guy. Like he's record on that. That I feel like that's a whole. You think that's a little bit of a tongue too? Am I falling for it?
Kirky Bits is getting up there. He's dancing during shout. A lot of it's true, but Kirky Bits, he likes to have fun. He's having fun with the Yukon. He's a good wedding guy.
He's not dancing during shout. I would lay money on that. But yes,
he's up and moving during shout. He's part black. You forget.
True. Good point.
Do we get a like an impromptu KMS video at some point? I know that was talked about. Do you think Jeff D'Lo's nice enough to include maybe just
a picture tonight? We got a. Oh, you mean at the wedding or tonight?
Oh, yeah. I mean at the wedding.
Oh,
no,
there'll be a photo.
There can't be any proof of fun being had.
That's true.
There'll be a photo, just like there was tonight.
I can't believe you guys thought him being the officiant to the wedding like that to me is extremely surprising because that's usually a family member or a priest, one or the other.
Mick. Not everybody treats their family members like you.
Oh, here we go.
It was clear it was going to be
clear as day. I actually agree with Mama K.
It was clear as day. He has done it for his, dead brother.
That didn't go well. Remember, I mean, let's just call it what it is.
But he and Jeff are close.
All right.
He wasn't going to be a ring bearer. He wasn't going to be bringing the dog down the aisle. He wasn't
going to be who would do that?
He wasn't going to be a best man. I mean,
maybe a speech at some point to throw like the
the things that Mama K just laid out. He wasn't going to be this. He wasn't going to be that. It was only one thing he was going to do. If it wasn't
and he knows how to get his license quick. He knows how to get that license quick.
He has it.
Done it, or he has it on file. I don't know.
I guess my argument is this. Like, I'm not saying it's strange that they're really good friends or they're close, but they've only known each other for 4 years, 3 years? Like, I would anticipate that Jeff knew somebody from growing up or something like that. And not that, again, have whoever the hell you want at your wedding. But for me, I've always just thought that was a role for somebody who's like important in both of their lives at some point. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think officiating a wedding is not a gigantic part, right? I think like a groomsman or something would be more significant.
Oh, God, no. Oh, please. Are you out of your mind? Do you know what they have to do? That's all the pressure on you. You have to if you screw up as a groomsman, what? You're drunk, you're an idiot. The guy who's like behind, you got to get the vows right.
Drink. They don't have to worry about
I feel like I've been to weddings where the guys officiating is a kind of a hired gun.
Yeah. My wedding, the guy was my husband's like childhood pastor. I never met him before. Like he literally was this old guy who almost passed out up there. He was so old.
The pastor makes sense though. That makes sense with being a pastor. The religion aspect.
Podcast Jesus.
That's a good point.
There you go, Montante.
All right, so I guess nothing really else there. Again, not surprised that Kirk's in the wedding. I would anticipate that based off how much they talk about it and how close they are, but. Being the kind of the guy that marries you, I feel like maybe again that's a bigger deal to me. I don't know.
The best man's a bigger deal, Mick. Come on, groomsman's a bigger deal.
Maybe the best man, but I don't think every groomsman's bigger than the guy who's like talking during the wedding. You're talking in front of 250 people potentially. It's a big deal.
You have a script
for a living. He talks.
I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm just saying it's a big deal. Anyways, moving on. Where are we at with our boy Kane? Kane is very controversial figure here. He caused a missed show. He's getting everybody sick. DMs are spreading like wildfire. Yeah. Where are you guys at with Kane?
Let me get ahead of this. And Patrick Ford, if you're listening, pause this. Come back in 30 seconds. Pause. Good. I love Kane.
Oh, no.
I can't help but love him. He's a creep. He's a perfect creep. He's the best. I love Kane. And I know it's a flaw. It's like he's legitimately the most hated person in Minifan world by a country mile. But I think he's semi-entertaining. I think he's a genuine guy. Like, he'll tell you he's a creep and he'll back it up.
Yeah.
I like Kane. Come back.
He's good for the KMS world until you start seeing these DMs and stuff like that.
That solidifies what I already thought.
Better, right? Yeah.
Oh, he's the best. He's the best. He didn't like cross any lines. He's probably probably sexting a male Minifan. You know, like that's whatever. It's 2025.
Kane is disabled.
I think he's.
I think we need to rename him.
I think he'd say as much. I like Kane.
Mama Kane, where are you at with Kane?
Okay. God, I don't even want to do this now because Montante
you like him too.
He likes him.
No, don't do this. Come on.
No. All right. Well, no, I just said Kane should be.
He's outside your window, so
Kane is disabled.
Be careful.
I can't help but like him as well. I'm sorry. He's fucking crazy. He is weirdly obsessed with the most random shit about me. He should really scare me.
Yes.
Which I think he does in some ways. But he is good for the world. He's a nut job. I mean, isn't that what people say about all of us? And no, they don't say it about me, but they say it about you.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely.
You guys were both on the crazy. No,
I'm hated. I think all three of us at some point have felt the hate from the KMS audience. Me and Mama Kane in particular, for sure, right? Yeah, absolutely. With that said, though, I guess what I'm asking is, do you start feeling bad here? Is this like a sabotage?
No.
It's all funny to laugh at, but when this guy potentially is doing blow, staying up all night screaming,
nothing wrong with that.
Is that just? Are we just down with that? We're okay with that?
I'm not, Mick. I'm with you on that. No.
Oh no! Be clear. I don't need it to stop. I'm just asking the question. Like to me, I'm going to watch the show either way. But seems to be potentially, he's kind of teetering on the line right now.
When people are saying he's on the verge of losing it, that's him. That's him composed.
Okay. All right.
His reactionary way about him, which is not unlike you, Mick. You get reactionary.
Very much so.
Yeah. So that's entertainment. That's content. I mean, he's fucking crazy.
Right.
And yes, he drives me nuts sometimes with his weird ass takes, and I disagree with him half the time. But he's cuckoo in the best kind of way for this world. I wouldn't want him in my wedding,
Right. Yeah, there you go.
That.
The way he threatened to go after his ex-girlfriend, he did that in the most composed way possible. He was under control in that moment. But at the same time, that control moment was insane.
I almost hope it's a bit, because again, that just makes it.
You can't take that.
There's no bit. Huh? I don't think there's a bit.
So, I guess my question to him is why are you doing this? Because I did this because I want the podcast to take off. At some point, I want to be part of the Kirk Minihane show and all of that.
A bit, Mick? Is that what you're saying?
Being open and being able to
admitting on air right now that it was all a bit.
Have another one. All right, listen to me. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying is he doing this to try to be a character in the KMS world and potentially have his own show for real? Or is he just no, I'm a fucking idiot and hope people laugh at me? I don't really get being
there are just weirdos in this world. There's just weirdos. Have you been to a live show? They're just weirdos.
That's true. Well, I guess
he's an authentic weirdo. There's nothing wrong with that.
He's an authentic psychopath. That you're underselling. I'm a weirdo. I think we're all a little weird. He might be a little bit you want the police around.
Again, there are psychopaths in this world. You're making my point.
That's true.
You think he wants out of the back of the house?
His argument, I don't even get his argument. He's a fucking nutbag.
The funniest thing he said today, and they played on KMS.
Yeah.
He was Kirk, next time just go in for your shift or whatever. He was
yeah,
not everything is fucking restaurant related. He said Kirk should have won in with the sniffles instead of calling out of his shift. It's what a weird, dumb thing to say. But I like him. I hate that I like him.
I'm telling you, it's not going to end well with that guy in the KMS world.
Oh, no, I mean,
I can see that,
it's not going to end well for him in anything he does. That's why he's the best. Let me ask you guys this question. If you had, to replace Mutt, if we had one or two people in every Wednesday for the next 6 months, we had either have Steve from Gloucester or Kane. Who would you guys pick?
I love that you say Gloucester. I just have to, that makes me laugh. Gloucester.
Answer the question, Mommy K.
Steve.
Who would you rather have?
Steve or Kane? Is that the choice?
Yeah.
Every Wednesday.
For 6 months.
That's a tough one.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. I would, you know why? Because they're both crazy, bizarre in their own way, and they both can get too
Answer
much.
The fucking question, Mama K. Jesus Christ.
Too much. I'm sharing my thought process.
Okay, understood.
I could sit here in silence and stare at you like this.
That happened. That was last week's. Go ahead. Give me an answer. Give me an answer. Go ahead.
All right. Gun to my head. I will go with Steve from Gloucester.
Wow, that's unbelievable. All right, fair.
I would say Steve too, just because I think he is funny annoying. I think at times Kane is like, I wish this guy would shut the fuck up annoying. Like Steve he's almost laughing at you, laughing with you the whole time. Like Kane almost seriously wants to pick a bug with you every single second of every single day.
I agree.
It's very frustrating to listen to.
I feel like Steve from Gloucester, in his craziness, is still a little more on the joke than Steve, than Kane. Kane is not in on any joke. He takes everything so fucking serious.
I agree with you about Kane. Steve, at times I think he is in on the joke, but at times I think it's right over his head. Like he was explaining to people how hard he works this week and why he couldn't come in. What are we talking about? Steve, I love you. True. What are we talking about, Steve?
One of the craziest things ever said was, I think Mutt, go buy a case of water and sell it at a high school basketball game. That was the most insane. No, Mutt, get an Indeed account and look for employment. Yeah. Go get a case of water from Costco and sell for $2 a pop.
That's
all right. How did he get away with that?
I will pick Steve from Gloucester if we can just hear Montante do that.
No, that's all I got. That's all I got.
At least once a week.
But he said that though. I was like, what an unbelievable statement. That's insane.
He was like, hey, I don't know if you've heard of this site called Amazon. You can resell stuff. He thinks it's like revolutionary what he's doing. It's been going on for a decade.
Yeah. Remarkable.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You can still hear my voice. Kane still, I blame him. I'm still sick because of him. I'm going on like 5 days. It's not great. I apologize for the phlegminess here in the voice, but moving on. Justin's massage. Where are we at with that whole thing? Montante, an expert on the matter. Tell me all about this. All right, have you ever indulged in this type of thing?
I swear to God, you'd think I'm one of the horniest guys around. I'd fuck anything. I'm not when it's inauthentic and set up like this, I have no interest. The last time I was in a strip club, I had a lap dance in a VIP room paid for me, and it was so awkward. I stood up, gave the woman $200, and said, "I'm sorry, I can't do it," and walked out. Swear to God, it's not. I'd rather be at a bar and some fat girl come to me and go, "Hey, let's fuck in the back of my car." I'm in.
Why is this?
I have a 10 out of 10. It's just not. It's weird. It's creepy. I don't like it. I don't like the setup. But I'll say this right now: the thing he did, recording this Asian woman on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
If the show ended tomorrow, that is a top 4. Put in the Mount Rushmore. I think there's 4 people in there. That is a top 4 funniest bits ever done in the history of KMS.
It's up there. It really is. It's definitely one of the more like
sneakers liked it.
Yeah. That's when you know. The surprise aspect of Kirk not even really knowing about it, and them playing the audio. Like he thought it was funny when he heard Justin got a massage, and then all of a sudden the audio played. You could tell he perked right up. He was like, "Oh, here we go!" And hats off to Justin. That was fantastic.
The line that delivered it was, "I like to do it. Whatever. I like to do it more myself."
Yeah, I prefer to do it myself.
That was the chef's kiss. That was that made that moment 10 out of 10. Yeah. Can't take it back. Unbelievable.
I will say I don't have a lot to contribute to the actual discussion because I am not a gentleman, and
that doesn't mean you don't have experience in the matter.
No.
I'm 25.
No. I am going to say, and this is the fact that Dave, and I'm kind of with Ted Sellers on this. He mentioned it, and it just got zoomed right over. That Dave Cullinane did not have the "I'm going to do it myself" drop ready from Josh to go in that moment is egregious.
Well, he got caught.
My guy Coleman would have had that.
Is there a chance that's the first time you heard it live, though?
It doesn't matter. They were talking about it the day before with Kirk saying, "I like to do it myself." That was like the line they kept saying. And all I thought of was Josh saying it. And so did Ted. We were on the same wavelength.
Well, I tried to tune Ted up to Ted off when he's in there. But I think the way Cullinane was reacting, I thought that was like the first time he's hearing any of it.
Maybe Justin just said, "Hey, I have the sound for this. We'll play it on the show, and it'll be more."
Yeah, I think he undersold it, and Cullinane was probably like, "All right, cool," and then thought nothing of it. And then when it started unflowing, I think that was the first time everybody in that room, other than Justin, heard it.
I was like trying to work out, and I couldn't. I was like, "I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear this. I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know what sounds I was going to hear. I was getting very nervous."
I was driving and I was picturing when, because it was kind of it wasn't like the clearest of audio. I mean, you could hear all the words and everything, but it sounded like it was recorded from like a cell phone or whatever in his pocket. Picturing just like some 4'11" Chinese woman being in there with Justin, who's like 6'5", 320 pounds. Like it to me, the visual aspect of him laying on some table, barely sitting on it.
I am grateful there was no visuals.
Well, the funniest part about the visual would be if you ever seen a fat guy. I'm not there yet, but I'm not too far away. The funniest thing about like a fat guy like that, their build is everything's fat. The stomach hangs over, over the waist, but they always have the smallest asses. So to see Justin's little red hair and his fucking flat little ass, right? Just a perfect line right down the seam of his back, just laying there would have made it 55 times funnier.
I just couldn't handle the moaning. Like when he would get like he was just like moaning. I was like, I can't, like, I felt like there was a line that I couldn't listen. I was but I thought it was pretty funny when she said she could tell he lost weight.
He rubbed his belly a little bit.
I don't know, like what was there stretch marks already? It seemed like she was working the tip already that she didn't get.
People were critical of Justin. I saw a lot of comments saying, where's Justin's bits been? He has, he's been a little stale. Hats off to him. You're right, Montante. That's a top 5 bit. Absolutely. No question about it.
It won't be in the best of, though, if Gus does it.
And what's funny about that? Well, I'm glad they called him out on it. When Gus said here last week, and you guys, it was already rehashed. I'm actually already working on this. It's a thing that Gus's brain does where, what's the expression? Like you're writing checks that your mouth can't cash, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah.
He doesn't mean that, but his mouth just says it. And then he catches up to it. Like, oh, fuck. Did I just say that? There's no reason for him to promise that.
He said it.
There's no reason for that. But what I liked about that bit was he jokingly said, yeah, I'll go do X, Y, and Z. But no one actually expected him to do so. So if he didn't do it, nobody would be like, wow, Justin's changed. 3 years ago, he would have done this. I think everyone was under the understood agreement. That's actually too far. You don't have to do that. He did it and thought nothing. The way he introduced that segment, unbelievable.
There's a chance if he asked Kirk on the show, like, oh, should I get a massage and record it? He'd be like, no, like that's too that's too much.
100%. Kirk's like, oh yeah, 100%.
It was. So hats off to our boy Justin. That was fantastic. Moving on. Let's see. Where are we at with Fax the Intern? Tough week for our boy Fax. Does he have a future with KMS? What's his goal long term? Do you guys like Fax? Have you ever had an interaction with him? Montante, go.
I think Fax, what the government's paying him, if he's not making more than the producers, he's goddamn near close. So if you're the producers, whether you let this cloud your judgment or not, no wonder, no reason. No, like I'd hate him too. Guy's doing nothing and making more than me.
Get in there. We need Elon Musk to
Doge, get in there. Clean up the government.
Doge has to get in there.
100%.
Clean that up. If my tax dollars are paying for Fax,
shout out Kane. Kane would agree with this. This is a waste of tax dollars. So I get why Justin and them hate him. Listen. I think his heart's in the right place, and he's been pretty forthcoming with saying that he found KMS through other Barstool like products. So of course, I think everyone would understand that if Bussin had an internship in the same role and KMS did, he would take the other one 10 times out of 10. So I kind of appreciate his hustle. And yeah, he's definitely coming to Massachusetts because he has to. He has to show proof. They're not just going to hand you $70,000. Hey, have fun. You're going to have the receipts to back it up. But
100%.
If you're there, maybe he's trying to overcompensate for literally doing nothing, and he's trying to make too much more than they should be making out of it. I think his mistake came from a good place, and I don't think it'll happen again.
I think he's a nice guy. I have met him. I don't remember where, but he was at something. I don't remember where, but he was shorter than I thought.
He's small.
I think he's a nice guy, but I think that, the fact that he would jump in and give Kirk like that type of stuff. And then he was like defending Chaps online at one point. Like, I feel like it's one thing to be a new listener. I think that's great. Bring them all in. I don't have a problem, but it's almost like he started hosting Mike and the Minifans right away. Like, I just feel like he overstepped in an area where he didn't have enough history to know the show enough. And Kirk seems like he could have just said all set. It would have been the same thing. Like, you know,
the history of interns on KMS, other than Justin, pretty much everybody has been behind the scenes, not talked about, cut the clips and shut the fuck up. Intern Harrison, every now and then they talk about him on the show. Some of the other guys way back when they would mention, but for the most part, the interns are just shut up and do the job. For facts, for a guy who kind of wants to be around, I don't necessarily think that position for him, because clearly he wants to kind of offer input and stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's not what Kirk wants. That's not what they want as a KMS intern. Just cut the clips and shut up. I think he's probably in a tough spot. Maybe he does have to go to Massachusetts, like you're saying. There's probably something to that, or at least, you know, he gets it paid for or something like that, which not nothing wrong with that. I'm glad he's ambitious and wants to kind of make something of it, but this might not be the best show for that. But I like fact. I wanted to work out for him long term because he was nice to me when I met him. So
yeah, no, he seems like a nice guy. Like, I just don't know if he knows the show enough or understands like the role enough. But he is trying to earn his $70K for sure. Like he saw an opportunity. There was probably some option for him to do this internship. He's kind of in the world. He thinks, oh, how can I parlay this into working there, making this money, validating I don't know.
Will he make it?
I wish him well, but I think it's going to end poorly.
Will he make it to Laconia?
No.
Is it the first Monday of the month? It's the first week of the month. So
it's about 3 weeks away now, right?
Yes.
Will he last?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the first week of the month, so he'll be there either way.
No, I don't mean like he'll be there. I mean, like, will Kirk let him go by then? That's kind of what like figured.
Mean make it on the show?
He'll be there. He'll be there. His best chance, actually, and this is something you can't force. Actually, getting high to Barstool would be a all-time disaster in show history where Kirk goes legitimately ballistic, things get broken, and Fax gets fired live, because something like that would get brought up on the Unnamed show, and where Portnoy was like, "What did this guy do?" And then maybe gets like in his corner, and then like as a bit hires him to do some behind the scenes shit. No, that's his best. That's his best case. Well, he already was worked there. That's his best case. His best way into Barstool. Other than that, if he just keeps his head down and does whatever he does quietly, he has no shot to make it Barstool.
No, just take the money and run, Fax. If I can give you a piece of advice, keep your head down, shut up, don't interact, take the money and do your internship and leave when it's over and, cash your checks. That's all.
Speaking of, you mentioned Barstool. We got to talk about Coleman and the break that he just got, the Portnoy card and all that. Before we get into what he's doing now, do you see a future of Coleman at Barstool? We mentioned Fax there. Coleman, another intern in the past. Does he have any, shot to go back there, Montante?
100%. 100%. And I think Coleman would be the first one to admit it. Like, he would burn that company so quick it would make your head spin. Barstool right now, if you're doing the math, they're just losing people. They're not really adding anyone significant. So I don't know what it will be. Maybe it will be this upcoming show where they talk about this break video. I think there's a 1 in 3 chance that Coleman's working there before New Year 2026.
Yeah, I think what he has going for him is he gets the Barstool world and the kind of the Portnoy content of laughing at yourself and kind of looking like an idiot and being unique and stuff like that. Like he does get that, and there are very few people that can kind of take the punches and roll with it. I hope it ends up working for him. I still don't really get what he does on like a day-to-day basis with the cards.
Nobody does.
Yeah, I truly do not. I know that's kind of joked about on the show, but I actually just do not have a clue what he's doing. Him ripping a Dave Portnoy card today. Do you have any clue what that is?
How is that I didn't know Dave Portnoy had his own card.
Or did I?
That's new. I didn't really understand it.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll leave Coleman. We'll leave Coleman in the past. Kevin from Bristol on Monday. Mama K, you mentioned him. What do we expect?
I actually talked to Kev last week because
I believe that.
I popped into Just Ducky.
What's going on here? You giving him advice?
I popped into Just Ducky. I was driving by. I stopped in, said hello. I asked him how he's feeling. I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna be himself, which could be very annoying to Kirk, but I think he is going to do just fine. It'll be a good show. I'm looking forward to it. It is I'm trying not to like build it too far up because then inevitably.
Well, I will. Kevin will be a 9 out of 10 at bare minimum in studio.
Just having him there is a big deal.
100%. Kirk has this very weird self-saboteur characteristic about him. Like Kirk's never seen anything through. The golden ticket, it's all bullshit. What's the one thing he will see through is no mutt for a year. Like,
yeah, it's true.
This is the first thing you're gonna see through. Sure, makes the show worse. Sure, but he will see through it. Like Kevin would be a great guest. I think he knows that, but he thinks it's funny that he keeps him at a arm's length distance. So that's finally coming to an end. Kevin's gonna be great. Everyone who actually follows the show and knows Kevin and won't be surprised by this. People have been waiting for this for years. So I'm glad it's finally coming to an end. And I would not be shocked come Sunday night. I'll say it's like a 10% chance that the show account or Kirk tweets out, change of plans tomorrow. So-and-so's in studio. Kevin's out. Just to really stick it to him. It would suck, but I
hope not. I hope not.
I hope not too, because Kevin will be funny. He's a fucking cheese dick. He's kind of a cornball, but he's a good guy. He loves the show and he's entertaining. Whether you're laughing at him or with him, you'll still be laughing.
If he's in there, I want the full Kevin experience. I don't want him to be like, I don't want him to try to be like, fit in as like a third chair. I want the full Kevin from Bristol. I want him, make it about himself.
You do not want the full Kevin experience.
I absolutely do. I do. I think it'll be a great show if he's in there.
I got 15 hours of the full Kevin experience. I can tell you.
I want the imitations. I want everything. The voices, all of it. Please.
Yeah. Whose pussy did you eat in 1996? Let's hear it all.
Yeah,
give it
absolutely.
to me.
A lot about his conquests and when he was a teenager. Yeah.
There's a chance for that show. We could get a 13-minute show, something like that.
Yeah. Or 4 hours.
Right.
Wait, who's he in with? He's in with Mike.
With Mike, yeah.
Yeah, of course. He's new.
I'm very excited about that. That's going to be fantastic watch. Moving on, though, we got to talk about Jared Carrabis in today's show. Where are you guys at with Carrabis? A very controversial figure. I forget how much people hate him online as far as Minifans go. There are maybe a handful of Minifans that'll give him compliments. Other than that, he gets buried online, at least on Twitter. Montante, do you like Carrabis?
I like Carrabis a lot. The first time I ever went in there, he DM'd me and said, "Good job," which so I'll always be blindly loyal.
So we know why. Yeah, so we know why.
Yeah. So I'll come out. If that DM never happened, I might say might say different, but what was very funny about him today was he was there the whole time. Like I watched the show on YouTube. I physically saw him there, but things would be said. You ever seen the fuck's the movie? Pootie Tang? No,
I haven't seen Pootie Tang. You're a movie guy. This is surprising.
I've seen like it's certainly not. I've seen like 8 movies. This is one of them.
I mean, yeah.
There's a guy in Pootie Tang where like, man, it's hot out today. Then like 10 seconds later, it's like, fuck, it's hot. And they'd be like, look at him like everything would be said, and then he would just re-say it like a minute ago, like it was fresh. Yeah. Was he listening to anything?
He's in his own world up there.
Like, I get you don't listen to the show, so you may not be in on everything.
Right.
But something would be said 3 feet from him.
Yeah.
And then 30 seconds later, he would just rehash it. It's like this guy's out of control.
Yeah. You can tell Kirk has a soft spot for him because like there's times where you could jump down his throat and he just doesn't because he's like,
anyone else would be getting
absolutely. Yeah.
Buried.
Mama K, do you like Carrabis?
So I like Carrabis when he talks about his life, like personal stuff. I remember like where I was when he was talking about the ex-girlfriend going on the date, that social media queen or whatever her name was. I like that. I don't love when he gets into like the wrestling talk. That's just not my bag, baby. So I kind of tune it out.
Can we address one thing there, Mama K? I think you agree with me on this one. They're like, yeah, when we were growing up, wrestling was for the geeks. It still is.
It's more trendy now because I think there are girls that are streaming online and like the e-girls are getting into it. The streamers are making a market out of it. But you're absolutely right. Growing up, it was made fun of. And after maybe 6th grade, if you're still watching it, you're not admitting it to your friends.
If Kirk says he wants to bring the word back, now's an appropriate time. You're an F word if you're an adult man watching wrestling with no kids. You're a straight up F word.
Yeah,
no way around it.
I tune it out. Like I just tune that part out. But I like when he talked about his dad and the trip to like the Beatles thing. And I liked when he would talk about his, his personal stuff, his mom doing the housekeeping, like that stuff is like sticks in my memory from the show, and I like him. And but just when he gets like some of the really inside baseball stuff, I tune out too. So it's just sometimes the topics he brings, and he doesn't listen to KMS, so he offers nothing.
It was unbelievable when he said that. You want to give him the benefit of the doubt. And then they talk about some niche like podcast. Like, oh yeah, I heard that. Like,
yeah.
Well,
I noticed that Jeff was a lot quieter during the show today too. He let like Carrabis definitely was like leading the conversation.
Well, I think a very subtle move that Jeff did was he gave him the 8 chair.
Did Jeff sit down? Who was there first? You know,
nobody knows, but I bet you Jeff's as a fan of the show and a Barstool historian. I bet you even if Jeff got there first, out of respect, I bet you he sat in that second chair.
Maybe it's because he's been on the show recently and he's kind of a bigger part of the KMS world now. And
Jeff as a KMS fan, he understands what he means to the show. I'm pretty positive of that. Could be wrong.
I was high on Jeff D'Lo today. Actually, he was a little quiet in the third chair, but I thought he kept the conversation moving. I think as a producer, when he does the show, at times he's focused on like bringing topics and kind of, acting as a producer,
totally different role.
Completely. As him as a third chair today, I thought was fantastic. He was just chiming in a little bit, and I loved the wedding talk and all that stuff. So I'll give Jeff D'Lo third chair of the week. How about that? It was between Carrabis, Ted Sellers, and himself. So I'm giving it to D'Lo. My guy.
Nothing wrong with that. I would agree with you.
What else do we have? Do you guys have anything for me? Any topics that you're dying to bring up?
I feel it's a bad question. 36 minutes. I feel like we're not bringing. Oh boy, this is supposed to come at the 56-minute mark. We are in trouble here.
We got plenty more. I'm just asking, being polite.
I got no questions.
Mama K?
Questions for Mick. Let's see, Mick.
Show in general, everything.
Mick, I was on your side with the front of house, back of house stuff for 100%.
I mean, the thought process was poor by him.
This is an easy one. Let me be the judge on this one. It is fucked up, and I get why you'd be annoyed at it. But the ultimate no-brainer here is if you don't like it, and your passion isn't cooking, then just take less money. If you don't like it, but you just want to make money, go to the front of the house.
It's that simple.
It's quite literally that simple.
Yeah, you get a salary.
What are we doing here?
I would, I'd like to make as much as a doctor, but I'm not a doctor. So, you know what? I can't bitch that the doctors make a lot of money. Go fucking.
It's a little different. So it's a little easier to become a server than it is a fucking doctor, Mama.
Well, what I'm saying is if you're complaining about the pay scale or the pay, whatever structure of a job, then go get that job.
Right.
If you don't get to pick, I mean, you have your own pay structure. You're on salary.
A little different scenario, but I'm not comparing bartenders to lawyers, but like the paralegal doesn't make as much as the lawyer. You know what I mean? Just because they work in the same environment and they help each other does not mean that they have to make equal pay. I think that's
where you're losing is it's much more like the transition to go from back of the house to the front of the house is pretty fucking easy.
Right.
We'll speak Justin language. The woman at the front desk of the massage parlor is making an hourly wage. Mm-hmm. The one going in and having to freaking put her hands on the guy is making
paid the most. Right.
Keep going, Mama K.
The woman in front should not, be complaining about not making as much as the woman in the back.
Listen, we are the crazy ones because we are arguing with a deranged man right now. You know what I mean? Like we all agree this man who's arguing is crazy. So I mean, what are we even talking about here? Moving on. What do we think about the Clem rat race, and does the KMS rat race happen? This is something that Montante and I have talked about in the past. Is this another idea that fades away? It's something that I really was looking forward to. Do you think it happens?
Oh, no shot.
No, come on.
No shot. I tried to watch. Tried to watch comes off like negative. It came up on my YouTube. I watched maybe 15 minutes. I found the exact same thing that they clipped and mocked today. I was dying when he was belittling his people. But I saw the episode was 90 minutes. Is that the whole season, or is that just one episode?
So. I hope it's just one take. I hope it's one.
It is.
Show.
They just
is that over?
I think so. I think it's just like
if it's like the last seasons, they just do it in one episode.
Right.
But I feel bad for Clemmer. If they put the truth of the matter is it's a passion project. that they just blindly, okay, let him do it again. Who cares? No one will watch. If they put some effort and actual money behind it, I think it could be something. It wouldn't be Surviving Barstool. I get that. But if you put some, you could just tell. I mean, the camera's footage is all crazy. It's like the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
It's like,
when was
I
that?
feel bad.
Do you have any idea when that was filmed? It wasn't during the Super Bowl week, right? Like, because it was in New Orleans, but like it was pouring rain and stuff.
They didn't film it this week.
Okay, yeah, I didn't know. I was surprised. He was
down there. It was a couple weeks or a month or so plus ago. If I recall.
Yeah, I'd probably say December. But.
Yeah,
it was a little. I remember when he was down there, but
it's as good as it could be given the circumstances, and that's nothing against Clemmer. That's probably a credit to Clemmer.
Fair enough.
David in Maryland saying my lover is Elon Musk. Jesus Christ.
Oh David. Boy, Mama K, you can't let him get to you.
Why are you reading it too is a bigger question.
Well, what's happening here?
No, I'm just laughing because it's so random. I mean,
it sounds like that one might have bothered you, but that all right.
It's just so random.
You know what you gotta do? You gotta turn the phone off and listen to Mick. That's the move.
There it is.
Real pros,
I heard everything he said.
Our guy Montante, obviously back on the show with the beeps and everything, back in the gambling life of the bomber.
Well,
a little bit, right? Yeah. I mean,
the
kept secret in the world is Montante hates Mutt. I mean, that's no.
It's
just clear.
He reached out to me about being on the show.
Really? And
then I'm seeing, like everybody else, I'm seeing the bomber.
Wait. He reached out to be on this version of the show, the new version, after you guys had the failed.
Yeah, we talked about.
No.
So I told Mutt, and I said on the show, I would be up there every other show at Mohegan. That was turned down. Not directly, but like it wasn't taken. He didn't take it up.
Right.
And then recently he was like, yeah, for the AFC FC championship, like we'll have you on. You'll do some prop bets. No problem. Never hear from him again. And then after that, never hear from him. He just drops the podcast on our heads. Wow. All right, Mutt.
It feels like he's kind of roping you along quite a bit. I think at some point cut the
breaking my heart
because he's just roping you along. It's terrible to see.
Mick will give you some advice on being roped along.
Oh, more than anyone, please.
He's got some experience.
Yeah, I am. That's me right there.
And then, hey, at a mixed playbook, if Mutt offers me the job, I'm not taking it.
You're gonna walk out too.
No
one's gonna scream and.
Yep. No thanks.
Oh Christ.
Cocksucker Mutt.
Do you guys miss him on the show? That's been kind of a trendy topic. Do you do?
I like the beeps. I am 100%. He needs to learn how to do Morse code, and he can like actually have conversations. It would be a new skill.
A part of Morse code would be the audience have to understand it. So I don't think that's going to go too far. Mama.
Listen, you know what? Just freaking Chat GPT grok that shit. You'll find out exactly what it is. Just record it. We'll get a translation. That can be a job for the producers. They can, or fax in the back. He can translate it. I think it'll be a good bit on every Friday. We get.
I think it'll be funny. This is not realistic, but remember, like in like grade school when you have the string of the plastic cups.
Like the phone thing you're saying?
Yeah. Give me Mutt with a plastic cup and like Brando from Connecticut in there, translating what Mutt's saying like 80 feet away,
yelling it through the window or something.
No. Just he's in a separate room when you walk in there, and he's just whispering into this plastic cup, and Brando from Connecticut is just like saying shit like a minute late. Like I think that'd be fun. I miss Mutt in the show 100%. You're lying. You're not a fan of KMS if you're genuinely saying you don't miss Mutt. Mutt is a top tier third chair.
I think that this is funnier though. Like I think this
you're
is
an idiot.
Funny.
With all due respect, you're a moron.
Like I think it's funnier to have this death pool and Mutt having to. I think it's great.
Stop it.
It's great. Like the bit aspect of him being gone for a year is fantastic, but like there's not specific topics where I'm like I need Mutt's take on it or anything like that. But I just miss having him on the show. I think he's great to riff with Kirk, and he's probably the most self-deprecating like third chair. He loves making fun of himself. He'll bring up his family, his relationship with his parents, and all that. Like you gotta love Mutt.
Yeah. Come on. He's the best. Mama K. I hope he's getting.
I hope he's getting.
That's a crazy take. I got bad news.
I'll tell you that I got a beef with this real quick. I got a beef with the Minifans that like are actually mad that Mutt doesn't have a job, and people are like,
"Oh, here we go, Mick.
Give me a break. Who gives a fuck? I want him unemployed on the show. It's fantastic.
It's funnier for the show, but if you care about the man himself, like
I don't care. I care about the show first.
Fair. They're two separate. They're two separate entities. Okay. If you care about Mutt the man.
I care about them kids.
Come on, society. Exactly. But for the show, it's funny if he doesn't work. 100%.
Think of the children. Think of the children.
We got to put the kids first, right? The little Butnanskis. Fair enough. Where are we at with the live show? I imagine both of you will be there. Excited for the weekend. Obviously, the hiatus on the horizon afterwards. Do you think it's going to be maybe best live show ever? Where are we at with everything? Are you staying there for the weekend? Mama Kay?
I will be there Saturday. I don't think I'm going to be there Friday. I'm coming back from Vegas a couple days before. I don't know if I can swing another couple of days, but I will be there. Donna, AKA my other mom, will be there on Saturday. Yep.
Is that the one we talked about at the show? Is that the one that we've heard referenced before?
That's the one that Cullinane thought was my mom. That is now the running joke. But Montante, to his credit, knew she was not my mother.
Correct.
My friend. Yeah.
Montante, you gonna be there?
Yeah, I think I have an Airbnb right now. It's me, Daver, John and Warren, and his cousin. So that'll be fun.
Oh boy, wow. How is Daver? We haven't heard much from him lately.
He's good. He's just off the grid. What's very fun about Daver is like in the midst of like a conversation, maybe like 5-6 weeks ago, like Daver's like, between us, you never put the bet in. Like, I did. I was like, all right, man. Like I respect the hell out of you. He's taking that to the grave.
He won't do it. He won't admit it.
No.
I love that.
That's the way to handle it. So yeah, he's good. He listens to everything. He's good. But yeah, I was just never. I didn't like when he said that. I was like, oh, all right. Like my brain was running wild, but I was like, all right. I respect the living hell out of that. But no, he's good. But it should be a good time. John and Warren. John and Warren's a sneaky good third chair. He gets kind of shit on a little bit, but
he's good. Yeah. I like John. He's a good guy.
He's definitely grown on me.
Go ahead. Sneaky. He's hot.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely.
Good-looking guy.
Oh, for sure. He's a sexy drip. No question about it.
Very funny video this week.
Yes, I missed those. He was doing those quite a bit, like a year ago. We need more of those. Those are great. You won't hear me say a bad word about either of the drips. Pat Ford is unhinged, but that's my favorite version of him. Come on.
Oh, he's fucking nuts.
Let's see. We talked about Justin's performance. Where are we at with Cullinane, the sensitive Dave Cullinane? Are we high on Cullinane right now? Do we think he's checked out? I feel like he's constantly getting shit from the audience, but in my opinion, Cullinane's a staple on the show and someone we need around. Montante, where are you at with Dave?
I hate him.
Hate him.
Hate him.
Hate him. This is new.
Oh.
Why do you hate Dave?
This is a me issue. So
this is going to be a very rational explanation.
It is. Actually, no. You know what? You're not going to agree with it.
Okay.
Mick is going to say you're right.
Okay.
Just I don't call people much. As I know the joke. Haha. He calls everybody.
You call everyone.
I got Cullinane back to the show. Would he have ended up there without me?
You did.
Maybe I did. It's a fact. I got him back to the
show. Yeah.
I called Dave 2 times, maybe over the last 6 months. He didn't answer either. Never got back to me. I got you back. You were doing nothing without KMS. The fact you have no respect to the point where if you don't answer, fine, but get back to me via text. Nothing.
Wow.
Fuck you.
Wow.
Mick.
No, you were the first guy to reach out, and you're always getting back to people. So I would agree he owes you that. But that being said, it sounds like you needed him. Why did you need him? Was it something important?
Nothing of importance. But he was also for that call me with nothing of importance, and I would answer. We'd talk, but then I call him twice, spread out, ample amount of time between each call to get back to me. Nothing. All right, listen, noted. All good.
Is there a chance that you said something on one of these shows because he's listening? I mean, he hates winners to death. He can't stand the guys that he's very sensitive these days. Is there something that you said? Maybe no.
Nope.
Wow.
So we have a new feud in the world.
Actually, don't like.
It's not a huge feud, but it's just like have an ounce of respect. I don't need too much respect.
Right. No, if you're gonna you're right. You supported him during the darkest days. Now that he's on top, he can't even call you back. That's ridiculous.
Make up a lie. Hey, I'm busy doing X, Y, and Z. What's up? Nothing. Silence. All right. You were out there making TikToks.
You think he's too big? You think he thinks he's too big for you now?
I don't know what it was, but you were out there making TikToks, doing nothing with your life, and I got you back in. Show some respect, you fucking scumbag.
Wow, this is crazy. Oh my goodness.
Where am I wrong?
Oh my! This is built up hate. I mean, this.
I've been having this conversation.
This is bigger than Manners. This is bigger than Manners.
I've had this conversation in my shower for months now.
Yeah, this is not the first time you thought about this.
First time I said that. Nope.
Oh my goodness! I can't wait to hear Cullinane's response to this. Mama K, where are you at with Dave? I feel like you criticize him on Twitter every now and then. Am I wrong?
Dave is perfect for the show.
That's why I recommended him.
Good job, Montante.
Montante is bitter. This is crazy. I've never seen this.
He drives me a little bananas because I like him on the show. He talks, he's got the right kind of, brainless, whatever takes on things. And he's super weird. He's like the most normal weird guy I've ever met or like been he has like, he comes across as just like a normal everyday kind of guy, but his takes on things and his family's dynamic and all that craziness, he's so weird in the most normal way. I don't even know how to explain. He's not like overtly weird, but he is lazy as shit when it comes to the producing stuff. I have to agree with Menners on that. Like what happened? Like there was a lot of good stuff going on with the videos behind the scenes. What happened to the Minifan like content? Like remember Justin and Coleman would go out and do like
can I defend him here?
Please.
When I brought Dave back to the show, I said, listen, he's gonna be a second producer. Let's not put too many things on his plate. Let him just show up. I got him a good deal. I orchestrated a good deal for him. Right. And the respect I get back is nothing. Wow. Scumbag. He's out there begging for Twitter followers to say, hey, your current existence is putrid and embarrassing. You want back in? Make it. What? Don't worry about it.
I just want to see some more. I just want to see some more stuff like content, like coming from him, like having more than
Well, I don't think he's ever been the guy to do the outside of the show. Like, I mean, he's done some of the stuff, but like Justin's the guy who does the going to the massage parlor. He goes to the subway. I think Dave doesn't get enough credit for like the day-to-day topics that he brings up.
Yeah, my hatred, my temporary hatred being removed and me speaking objectively. Oh, he's the best second voice because even when he's wrong or disinterested in something, it's still entertaining. It could lead to something more.
I agree.
Like, he knows how to play off Kirk very well.
Right.
He'll yell back at Kirk. He'll go back at Kirk. He'll defend himself until he changes his mind and fights with himself, which he does a lot. But
he folds quick.
He folds quick, but he'll go back. He'll go back and he doesn't just kowtow to Kirk every 2 seconds. I do like that, and I love that he will bring up ridiculous stuff and ridiculous takes and he'll defend them until he kowtow, till he breaks. Right. But yeah, he's great in that role. But I just wish he would, like I said, I'm still bitter he didn't have the drops are falling off. There's just certain
I don't think he gets enough credit for like knowing when Kirk wants to bring something up or when Kirk starts to bring up a story or whatever it is. Like he'll have that drop ready before Kirk even asks for the sound. I think he's very good at
he has been pretty quick recently with a few of them.
Right. Yeah. Let's see. Anything else here? I have the 4-play phone call. I know that was impressive. Montante, you're a golf guy. That's something else. His golf knowledge is second to none. It's impressive.
If that clip didn't end that way, though, I'd be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I think Riggs probably knew that he was getting it no matter what, but
Riggs is the only one there that knew to end like that.
Kirk is like Rain Man with that stuff. I mean,
it's the way to put it.
It never ceases to amaze me, but it's not surprising.
Right. All right. Well, I think that's going to be it for tonight, unless you guys got anything else. We've gone for almost an hour. I know we had a quick week this week. The missed show. Obviously, Blaine Kane is able, the creep himself.
Well, I never saw that.
Do you have anything planned here this week? Any Montante's World coming?
No, we just dropped one the other day. Getting up to Mass early next week to pick up some cash for you guys. Have another a zillion pounds of snow dropped on you. Mm-hmm. So I would have liked to get in there last Friday, but
But
is
you
what it is.
chickened out. I got it.
No, shut up.
Can we get a?
I tried to give you. Yeah.
I was in. Like I said, you did convince me, but we had the vet appointment today. $535 for blood work.
That's it.
For checkup. And this is what an unbelievable line by them. They're like, yeah, well, senior dog blood work's a little more expensive. Like, why?
Why? Yeah, why? They got to rub it the vein a little more or something like that.
Like, they know they're going to lose. They know that dog's going to die soon. They just try to
okay, good God. Okay, good God. Relax. Okay.
I'm just trying to explain. Look at he's frozen. Someone screen grab this. That was the best.
Relax with that. Okay, but yeah, it's $535. And the way they drop it on you, they say the number like it's going to be like, all right, $17.36. Like, yeah, $535. You're like, what? Like, what if I didn't have it? Yeah. By the way, if someone doesn't have $535 on hand, that's normal.
Vets are the best at the upsell too. They'll try to upsell you. Oh,
yeah, what are you gonna do?
Cosequin for the arthritis. Oh, you should.
Yeah. I got that at Costco. I actually have Cosequin on my table.
When Howie broke his leg as a puppy, he broke it on like a little growth plate area or something. Long story short, the vet was like, yeah, the estimate's going to be between $900 and $4,000. I was like, excuse me? I was like, you can't give me a better number than that. And at the time, like, I was like 23 years old, so I had no money. I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? It was a nightmare. Yeah, vets are a scam. Total scam.
Oh, no, but what else are you going to do?
Right, exactly. And it's like,
you know what, pet insurance. Someone, if I could do it all over again, I would get pet insurance.
She just turned 14. It's a little too late for pet
insurance. It's tough.
Okay?
Yeah, it is.
No, I know. Me too. But I wish I had done it because I had cats. I've had dogs, and the last couple of years, it's freaking.
Yeah, it's scam.
Yeah. It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, but also too, they were like, yeah, you got to do a urine and poop sample. They give you like a.
I don't even bother with that shit.
Well, they give you like a little plate to like catch the pee. It's like, would I just use like a cup?
Yeah, a dog urine sample. I've never heard of that. The poop sample would be easy, but the urine.
That's fair.
My dog wouldn't do that. He wouldn't pee in the cup.
They try to get it from my cat. Do you know how they're insane? How am I?
That's hard. That's hard. A dog's easy.
Yeah, because they lift their leg and you can maybe stick a cup under there.
You give me 8 minutes, I can get a pee sample from a dog. A cat, that's like
they want you to take the litter out and then like put the thing in there. I never do it. I'm like, if my cat's gonna die because of that, forget.
Let's not get morbid here.
Can we get an update? Is Oreo still kicking Montante? We still got him around? I'm not joking. I'm being dead serious.
That's a throwback to Montante.
I remember this issue. I remember him going on.
I got a phone call from Alexandra, who's over there, and that he was on his way out. He's been gonzo for quite a while.
Oh man, sorry.
That happened live on Monday. That was an unbelievable call. No, he's been dead for quite some time.
Yeah,
rest in peace. Rest in peace. That was unbelievable.
All right. On that note, we will end the show. We'll talk to everybody next week. Thank you for coming on. Another Friday. We'll see you at 8 p.m. Take it easy.
Bye.
Peace.
Another tough day at work today. Stephen